It is spring, and that means it's time for me to plant my garden, my new garden. I moved my location around several times before I finally decided where I was going to dig. I don't know why, but this year it just, it felt a little intimidating picking a place to begin. And even though I had kind of a plan, I wasn't sure exactly what to do with it. I guess maybe because this location just feels, more important or more permanent. Like I have to get this right, which is strange because I know that gardening is new every year and I've got all the time in the world to get to it. But anyhow, today I wanted to share with you how I make my garden beds, my tried and true method, if you will. I'm also gonna try a few other methods this year, just, to branch out and try new things and see how it works. So I'll be sharing that plan with you as well. So first, I begin by choosing my location, obviously, and then I just simply remove the top layer of soil and turf or grass or weeds or whatever you would like to call it. I like to take it out in chunks because it will be easier to put back in later. I'll get to that in a minute. As you can see, I put it in a tub. You could also use a bucket. This is just to keep it in place so it's not as messy. After that, I dig about a foot deeper. So totally it's about 2 feet deep. This dirt I just pile off to the side. If you can pile it onto a piece of old plywood or cardboard, it does make it easier to get all of it back into the hole later on. As I go through the dirt, if I see any really nasty roots like this, not sure what it is. I think in England they call it bindweed. Might be crabgrass here. I'm not sure exactly, but they're really nasty and very, very obvious. So as I go through, I just kind of pull any of those out and chuck them in the grass and let them dehydrate until they die. Also, if you see any grubs like these, go ahead and pull them out and smash them with your fingers, with a shovel, with a rock, with your shoe, whatever. Just get rid of them. They will be your worst enemy later when they turn into beetles that eat your garden. After I get it all laid back, all the grass layer laid back into the hole, I have my kids stomp on it for me just to pack it down real good. I like to put the grass upside down, and it'll just eventually rot down in there. And that way you're not losing that extra space. Whatever dirt's fallen off, I will dump into the hole, and then I just scrape it off of my board and rake it all back nice and smooth into the hole. Now that is all done, I'm going to put a board around it, and later I'll expand it wider. So to put my borders in, which are basically just old pallet boards, I dig a trench just along the edge of the bed that I've already dug. Very simple, about half the width of my board. Mine are kind of, I guess, like 6x1s. And I dig it about half that width. And then I place them in and pack the dirt next to them. They're not nailed down or attached to any post. They are just a very simple barrier so that the grass doesn't end up growing back into the garden beds. After getting in my little barrier walls, I topped it off with compost and planted out some seeds and my elephant garlic, which was in some serious need of more space. So this has been my tried and true method of creating a garden bed, and I'm planning to triple this in size this year, and have just small bark paths within the garden, so I'm not cutting grass between beds. And the plan will be basically to make this whole field space here into that kind of a garden with a fence around it, and all that stuff. And I will probably triple this in size with the same method, but I'm also planning to try 2 new methods that I've never tried before. So this space I'm going to cover with plastic. Like, we have a huge roll of black plastic we got somewhere, I don't even remember. So I'm going to cover this space with that and hold the edges down with boards and put rocks and things on it so it doesn't blow around. And the idea is that it will suffocate the grass, and the grass will rot down essentially with the moisture and the heat. And on the other side, I will do the same kind of thing, but use cardboard instead, so I can kind of compare and see which one I think actually works better. And then next year I'll have a much larger space. So this is how I typically do it. I'm going to be trying some new things, and I'll let you know how those work out in the future. And we'll just see how it goes. Kind of play it by ear and all that jazz. To see how this garden grows and evolves, or if you'd like to learn lessons from me instead of from your own mistakes, make sure you hit the subscribe button and stay tuned for all the good green, growing, flowery stuff to come. See you guys next time. Bye.